Alrighty, that is the marker. And bonk. Hello everybody. Please tell me that's TV quality and my camera isn't being weird again. It's a bit of both, but that's okay. So let me just take that, do that. Hello Satin Up Band, how are you on this fine day? I'm pretty sure, let me just double check real quick here. Yes, I have turned TTS back on for you all, so you can have fun with that again. But yeah, also Ghosty City, thank you for following back while I was gone, and Robin, Thank you Mel for the resub! 4 months, let's go. Tired but good, I've been painting demons and TTS. Ooh! Nice! Which ones? I mean, I assume Melahai and Cat would be one of them, but... Or are they, like, themed ones? Tell. Or, better yet... Oh, my camera is right in the way of where the chat is. If y'all click on that link, you can join my Discord. I would love to see them. Alright. What is that? That's... Okay, that's new. Yep. So something different today. I thought I want to do a chill stream because I have actually been on Minecraft a lot off stream organizing a new Haruban. It is a pain in my ass. I know, it's driving me insane. So I thought we'd just do something chill today. And I'm laying in bed and I'm thinking, what can I do? And I'm like, oh hey, you know what I usually do on TikTok is watch and react to those Am I the Asshole videos? You know the ones on TikTok where you're like Subway Surfers in the background? My camera is right in the way of chat. I did not think this through. Hold up. I need to be able to read what you guys are saying. But, oh, that is full screen. Okay, I did not want that. Maybe if we do it. Yeah, like that. Okay, now we're sorted, chat. Dream Funny Kanoka Kingdom last night, but I was giving people. Oh, that's so cool! I like it, Picasso. I reorganized everything again, so that's why I'm a little out of whack. But now I can't see that. I need. I feel like. No, I full screened it again. You know what? No, I don't want to full screen. Actually, that's gonna annoy me. Okay, I got it. I also painted pride ones too. Yes, let's go. Let me do this, that. Okay, but yeah, so I'm working on a new Haruban. It will be a sub. I think it will be a sub server. So if you want to get on that, smash that sub button. The Happy Pride BT. Yes, Happy Pride, everyone. I really should have put some pride in the background. That probably would have been smart. But yeah, so I think the new Haruban will be a sub server. If you want to jump in on the getting the sub, the level of tier will not matter. At least I hope it does not. But yeah, I won't reveal too much about it, but I don't know if I have already. But it's pretty cool. It's gonna be something you'll want to join. But yeah, so that's been what I've been up to for the past couple days. Okay, that leaks. Good to know. Okay, let's just get right into it, I guess. I have already got up. I did the TikTok compilation versions because that's what I'm used to, and I looked up Am I the Arsehole story compilations, and they were all like an hour long, and I'm like, oh, I can't listen to that many. Has work started on the sub server thing? As far as building, no. I have to wait for the plug-in to actually update to 1.19 so I can put it on the server. And texture packs I found out somewhat easy, yet I still can't do them. I know how to do them, it's just not working for some reason. Yes, hopefully we will commence building soon. I kind of want to wait for I also need to wait for Optifine to update to 1.19, so I think that we might do it around then. But yeah, it's been painful. Painfully interesting. I full on at one point just stuffed up the server and couldn't log on, and I went, let's just undo everything I just did. But better pause the music, that might be helpful. Want me to look at the texture pack thing? Yeah, sure. I'll send you the tutorial I used after this. Like, it was, I know how, I've got it there. It's just not working. I tested it on the Minehut version because I need Optifine. So I don't know if I need the new one. I don't know. But slowly getting there. It's a process. I suppose I shouldn't be rushing it, given that there's not really much I can do with the updates on it. But anyways, Reddit story times. Good old Reddit. I actually don't have Reddit. Cool. See you waking up. Thank you, Mel. I love you so much. Shout out to Mel for having so much patience with my shit. Okay, but anyways. Time to judge people together.
Am I wrong for telling my friend I don't want to be her bridesmaid anymore? My friend Mary and I have known each other since we were children. We've grown apart over the past few years, but she still considers me important enough to make me a bridesmaid. Her wedding is set to be in 3 weeks. One reason why I sort of distanced myself from her was because of her treatment of my relationship. My boyfriend Jack and I have been together for 3.5 years. He's a wonderful person, and there is no doubt in my mind that this is the man I want to marry. But Mary is under the impression that Jack is too good for me. Jack comes from a very wealthy background. His parents are certainly very wealthy. He was practically guaranteed a lavish life from the moment that he left the womb. I grew up in a low-income neighborhood, often wondering where my next meal was or how I was going to help pay the bills at a young age. Jack is considered to be conventionally attractive, always looking like he should be on some sort of magazine or billboard. Jack's good looks and background have led Mary to believe that Jack deserves better than me, as according to her, there's no way I could have pulled someone so attractive and rich. It's pretty disheartening to hear those things constantly, and it does take a toll on you and the friendship. Whenever Jack is around, she's quite polite and respectful, never once making these comments. Eventually, the comments did stop. Mary invited me for lunch with her fiancé and his friend Gary. From the moment I arrived, Mary and her fiancé were consumed in their own conversation, paying no attention to the both of us. It was fine, as Gary seemed to be a great guy and we easily chatted. He asked me why I was single, and I told him that I was in a happy, committed relationship. He was very taken aback by my answer. He told me that Mary had set up a blind double date of sorts for the both of us. I was very confused and slightly angry. I didn't want to be confrontational at lunch, especially in public, so I just carried on with the lunch. Luckily, Gary wasn't upset and ended up making a few jokes about the whole ordeal. I called Mary later on in the day and asked her a ton of questions about why she thought it was okay to do that. At first, she tried to deny it, but then she tried to justify it by saying that Gary is a man who's more in my league, and since he was also a groomsman, we needed to get to know each other better. I was shocked at her bluntness, so I just told her that I didn't want to be her bridesmaid anymore. Granted, it was a pretty impulsive decision, but I still stand by it. Mary didn't take it well, trying to apologize and saying that it was a mistake. It's been a few days and her fiancé has been texting me, asking me to suck it up for the wedding. I feel petty and conflicted right now. So, am I wrong for what I did?
Am I the asshole for telling my girlfriend to leave?
Okay. I don't think so. Right, they full on... What the fuck? Like, from the start. Okay, so they didn't approve of the relationship from the beginning, and yet they're just like, oh yeah, can you, like, be the bridesmaid? No, fuck you. Like, no wonder. What? Bruh, no. Well, no. No. No, they pass. I think... So far, I think all the ones I did watch have been like, no, you're pretty good, like, you should have done that. I think the most interesting story I did watch... Let's put some music on in the background while we... Trying to make some background music while we listen to these. I think the most interesting story I listened to was... Okay, so the story was that... So she's with her fiance and they're talking about having kids, and he really wanted kids. She wanted nothing to do with them. And they talked about it, and he's like, look, okay, yeah, I can go without kids, it's fine. But then later on, he finds out that she was... What's the proper term? Is it the surrogate mother, like one that carries for someone else. I think that's the right term. But she had carried a baby for her sister because her sister couldn't have children, so she had the baby for them. But she had that was this. She was literally just like a little carrier for them. She had no emotional attachment to the kid at all. And the husband found out and was super pissed. And so basically the question was like, am I the asshole for not telling him that, even though he really wanted kids? That was probably the most conflicted I've been, because no, but at the same time I feel like it's something he probably should have known, but at the same time it's not his business. But like, I don't know. It was, communication is key. So there was a comment in it and it said, like, this is obviously causing a lot of struggle, and in the future you should break up, and I agree with that. I just realized these stories are going to be a lot of like relationshipy advice that I have zero experience in. So, yep.
Leave the house because she's not cooking. I work a job and she's a stay-at-home wife.
Texted me, asking me to suck it up for the wedding. I feel petty and conflicted right now. So, am I wrong for what I did?
Am I the asshole for telling my girlfriend to leave the house because she's not cooking? I work a job and she's a stay-at-home wife. She does all the chores and cooks amazing food, so I'm fine with it. I make enough and have inheritance for the both of us anyways. Now Friday, I came home to my dirty clothes on the couch and no food for me. I was surprised at this. I asked her what was all this, and she said she was sick of babying me. I asked her what she meant, and she said that she talked to her friend who talked sense into her. She told my girlfriend that she was raising a man-child, and that she was becoming a replacement of my mother to me since she does everything. I was shocked that she believed all of this crap, and we had a huge fight, and the next morning nothing changed. We kept fighting, and on Saturday evening, I had enough of this. I told her that she would have 10 days to leave the apartment and find herself a place. I told her I wouldn't be her father anymore by paying for everything, and she would have to make arrangements if she was going to continue behaving that way. We fought and she left to her friend's place. Am I the asshole for this?
Oh, okay, but wait, if he's paying for it, no, I want to say no, but to say it sounds like they've got the agreement of like he's paying for everything, but okay, but that doesn't mean I'm not saying that means she should be, but that just kind of sounds like their arrangement, if that makes sense. Yes, you are, because what is this freaking, what are we in the 90s, dude? No, 80s. What year? You get what I mean. But like, yeah, no, that definitely could have. I'm gonna say yeah. Asshole. I don't know. What do you guys think? Because like, okay, again, it sounds like that was their like agreement sort of thing. Because okay, but at the same time, I guess she's not. If she's not working, she can't unless she's on some sort of payment I'm not aware of. I feel like I need to know more to this story. I want more to this. Tell me more. But I'm gonna say yes.
Am I the asshole for getting mad about my mom marrying my fiance's dad?
What?
I, 24 female, and my
Wait, mom marrying oh yeah. Oh, whoop, ads.
fiance, 24 male, have been together since our sophomore year of college, so around 5 years now. For context, my mom had an affair with a coworker when I was 16, leading to my parents' divorce. She has been single ever since. Sadly, my fiance's mom passed 2 years ago due to cancer, and his dad has been single since. My fiance proposed last year, but our wedding was delayed due to COVID. 3 months ago, in January 2021, we decided it was time to have our families meet for the first time to discuss our upcoming wedding. This went well. This morning, out of the blue, my mom called me and announced that she had eloped. I was shocked, as she had not been dating anyone to my knowledge. Upon questioning, it turns out that she and my fiance's dad had been dating in secret since that meeting in January and had married in secret yesterday, making my fiance my stepbrother.
Am I wrong for telling my sister?
No. Yes, she is the asshole. Oh my god. Why would you do that? Oh, their lives are so like entwined now in the ways you don't want it to be. No. They've just screwed up the whole, like, everything. The bro, what? That. Wait, who are they asking? Okay, the mother's the asshole in this situation, so the storyteller is not. Oh, yeah, the mother would be, yeah. Why would you do this? Wait, no. You've made them siblings. No. That's awful. No.
Am I wrong for telling my sister her rainbow baby isn't special?
Ooh.
I, 27 female, have a set of twins, Ben and Betty. They just turned 6. My sister, 32 female, has Connor, who is 4. My sister and her husband lost their first baby due to SIDS. It was devastating for the whole family, and I was behind my sister 100% of the way. I couldn't imagine what it was like. Anyway, when she found out she was pregnant with Connor, we were all excited. The pregnancy went well, and Connor got a good bill of health. I love my sister and I love my nephew, but my sister is convinced that because he's her rainbow baby, that means he can do whatever he wants. Connor is incredibly spoiled and a brat. He throws fits to get his way, hits, kicks, cries, whatever it takes. My sister and her husband give him no discipline. He's their rainbow baby, so that is their excuse for his bad behavior. Their lives are to serve for whatever Connor wants. My twins just turned 6 and we had a small party for them. Everyone was having a good time except for Connor. He wanted cake, didn't like the games, wanted to watch TV, wanted ice cream now, didn't want other kids to touch him, and etc. Basically, the whole party, Connor threw a tantrum. The final straw came at present time. My husband went to get the gifts out of the living room only to find Connor had ripped nearly all of them open. My sister made excuses saying he was just excited and wanted to play with my kids' new toys. I lost it. I told her that Connor isn't special, that he's a brat and he's been ruining the party since he got here. My sister immediately went on that he's her rainbow baby and he didn't mean it and maybe I should have put the presents where he couldn't get to them. They were in the living room and the party was outside. No one was inside. I lost my temper, I know I did. This was my kid's party though. I said some nasty things to her. I told her that Connor isn't a baby anymore and he's not special and she's raising a self-centered brat who will grow up to be a self-centered adult. She left the party and then my parents called. They said they understood my frustrations and everything about the situation. Then they said they still feel like I should apologize to my sister. Why? Because I have 2 healthy kids while she lost 1 and she's still having to deal with it? I told them no. My sister should apologize for how her son acted at the party. My husband and the guests who were at the party are on my side. My sister hasn't really spoken to me in a few days, just posted passive-aggressive things on social media, which I just blocked. So, am I wrong here?
No? Like, okay, I get it. You've gone through something, like, traumatic. And yes, you obviously want to cherish this new rainbow baby child. But don't let it get to that level. Like, oh, I would hate to be around that kid. Yeah. Like, I get it. Like, it's special. Like, it's a miracle and everything. But, like, no. I think she should apologize for losing her temper, but she was right. Like, you're raising a brat. Like, yeah, no, discipline your kids. This a little bit. You know, you're right. You're raising a little shit of a kid. So that's my opinion. So no, she's not the asshole, but she should apologize only for losing her temper because she could have told her to a better. Like, yeah, just like you're raising a little gremlin, and not in the good way. Let's try again. Okay.
Am I the asshole for refusing to let my parents move in and remind
I made the music way too loud now. You probably can't hear that at all.
that they backed the wrong horse? My family comes from and is a long line of doctors. Being a doctor is the only acceptable profession in their eyes, and anything aside from that is met with literal abandonment. Which is what happened to me when I turned 17 and told my family I was not going to be a doctor, but I was going to build an acting career / social media career. YouTube wasn't huge then, and supplement my income with small business endeavors. When I told my family this, they kicked me out and we subsequently lost contact for 17 years. He is now 37, y'all. During the time they moved to the UK and my sister became a doctor and my older brother got into a very competitive stream for surgery, neurosurgery specializing in spinal tumor diagnosis and removal, which he has now finished. We reconnected when COVID hit and they told me that they were moving back to Sydney for lifestyle reasons and because my brother has found a $750,000 a year job. During the last 2 years, they never asked me how my acting career and / social media stuff went, and basically assumed I was slumming it in Sydney. To their credit, they were correct that I didn't make it big in their acting, and maybe the world isn't ready for a mainstream leading role Indian, or make it at all. I did, however, make it big as an investment banker and recently made it as partner at the bank that I work at. This came to head on Friday when I met them for house shopping. I walked to meet them, and when they asked about my car, I said I just preferred to walk. And they realized that the areas that they wanted to live in, despite being highly paid medical professionals, simply wasn't going to be happening. And as the houses cost north of $20 million, when we decided to call it a day and regroup, they suggested going to my place before going out to eat. When we arrived at my house, they thought I was renting a room and inquired about how much rent was. I informed them that I wasn't renting and that this was my house, and they lost their shit, accusing me of lying to them for years and only meeting up to rub it in their face and probably illegally gain my wealth, and capped it all off by informing me that they will be living with me now instead of my oldest brother, since they can't be seen living in a house worse than their son. I laughed at them and reminded them that they bet on my brother and sister and not me, and that they have a better chance living off with my neighbors. At that point, they threatened to cut me out of their will, to which I reminded them of the fact that they cannot even afford to be in my area, so their will and assets really don't matter to me. Now they aren't talking to me, and my brother and sister are saying that I should have been proactive in letting them know of my success. I have a public LinkedIn profile, and they literally never Googled me. Edit, I'm getting a lot of hate about including the social media influencer in my post. To clarify, this was 19 years ago, and I believe social media influencer is probably an updated term for socialite. I wanted to be famous, but had no real skills or plan on how to, and I was going to achieve that goal, like most social media people. Sorry, it's going to be a part 2 for the second edit. It's not going to take long, y'all, but what do y'all think so far? Part 2.
Is this all of the edit? Okay, wait, here we go.
A lot of people...
My baby.
Okay. It was tricky to follow that one because I was also reading it, and for some reason that made it not click in my brain. Okay, so let me recap. That one was a bit long. So they got kicked out for wanting to be. Like, I feel like I have a biased opinion, because you know. But yeah, I don't. They definitely seem to fancy. How do I say this? Rich upper class. Immediately distracted by the music. But yeah, I just probably, yeah, no, my brain couldn't comprehend that one. But what do you guys think?
Baby, her baby.
Wait,
My boyfriend and I. I'm an asshole for telling my boyfriend's sister to stop calling my baby her baby.
Hopefully not.
My boyfriend and I just had our daughter a month ago, and he hasn't talked to his sister in 13 years due to his mom wanting to protect him from her. Until recently, when their mother passed away. When I was 6 months pregnant, his mother passed unexpectedly, and he was having a really hard time getting through it. So when I was 7 months pregnant, his sister reached out to him, and he wanted to give her another chance, because it's only him, his brother, and his dad now. I haven't had a problem with his family except for her. It bothers me when I was in the hospital less than 24 hours after having my daughter, and she came to see her and started saying it's her baby. And our baby to my boyfriend. She saves every photo that I put on Facebook. She even made her own baby album of my daughter and wants to get her name tattooed on her, which I asked her politely not to do. She told my boyfriend off after I said not to, and said I will hold off until she realizes it's just an aunt thing. He hasn't even given me a chance. My boyfriend doesn't see anything wrong with it. I'm highly frustrated and I'm severely uncomfortable around her. So am I an asshole?
Am I wrong for
No, it's not her kid. Wait, her boyfriend's... Yeah, definitely not. No, dude. Calm down. Stop. What? No. How? Huh? No. I love how people are always like, oh, am I the asshole? It's like, no, clearly not. I read one there. Or I listened to one, I should say. And it was like, am I the asshole for breaking up with my boyfriend after he fat shamed me? And I'm like, no. I was like, no, okay, surely there's a story to this. Nope, it's as bad as it sounded. And I'm like, honey, are you kidding me? Like, no. Dump his ass.
Telling my sister that she should have aborted my niece when she had the chance. I grew up in a single parent household with my mother and my half sister Casey, who is 7 years younger than me. My mother struggled with drug abuse for the majority of her life, and as a result, I have no clue who my father is. Casey's father was also heavily into drugs and only stuck around for 3 years. I basically raised Casey because when my mom wasn't at work, she was either gone for days on end, holed up in her bedroom/bathroom doing drugs with whoever her boyfriend was at the time. I am now 31 and have no desire to have children after spending much of my youth caring for Casey. Casey unfortunately followed in my mother's footsteps in that she began excessively drinking, smoking, partying, etc. She enrolled in a university that's known for being a party school, but dropped out during her first year after getting pregnant with my niece. 14 weeks into Casey's pregnancy, we learned that the baby would likely be born with intellectual and physical disabilities. I am pro-choice and discussed abortion as an option with Casey, who at the time refused and assured me that she would love her baby no matter what disability she was born with. My niece is now 4 years old and is nonverbal with pretty severe cognitive delays and motor/sensory issues. My mother has been sober for about 5 years and has since come around to help out Casey with my niece. She feels bad about our poor upbringing and as a result enables Casey to continue partying and being an irresponsible parent. Casey is hardly ever around while my mother is left alone with my niece. She's pretty much become my niece's 24/7 caretaker. Both my mom and sister have asked that I help babysit from time to time, but I politely declined because I know nothing about caring for special needs children. Recently I learned that my mother is planning to move a few states away as her boyfriend would like to be closer to his family, meaning she will no longer be able to help take care of my niece. Now Casey has asked that I become my niece's godmother and that I move back to our hometown and in with her to help out. I declined because I know that what she really means is that she would like me to become my niece's primary caretaker. She then asked for me to compromise by having me pay for a home caretaker and for assisted living for when my niece turns 18. Again, I refused. My husband and I both have well-paying jobs, so technically we could afford it, but I'm sick of everyone rewarding Casey for her poor choices. This resulted in a screaming match between her and I, where in the heat of the moment I told Casey that she should have gotten an abortion if she knew she was unwilling to step up and be a mother to a child with special needs. Now I am receiving daily texts from both her and my mother stating how terrible of a person I am and that if I truly cared about our family that I would help out. So, am I wrong here?
My thoughts
Call
exactly.
CPS. That's my 2 cents. CPS.
Am I the
Oh. Kinda. I mean, the mother should, like, mother of the kid should definitely be, like, actually, you know, being a mother. Which clearly has no interest in that. I'm a little conflicted. As that actually reminds me of a story. So our old English teacher had, I can't remember what her daughter had. I think it was some form of autism. I could be wrong. But no, it wasn't autism. She had, I can't remember what she had. She had something. And she would get a lot, well, not a lot, but like she'd get questions that be like, why would you ever ask that? And I think one of them was, would you have aborted had you known? And she said she had never been so upset and she blew up on her, and I'm like, yeah, that's fair enough. So that was that story. But yeah, like her daughter was so sweet as well. Like every time she came into class, we're like, oh hi, and she's like, you know, she was so sweet. We loved her. But yeah, you probably went too far with the abortion comment. Hey Precious, how are you? Hello. But yeah, you definitely went too far with the abortion. Sorry, Emma. It's okay. We're judging people. We're having a good time. But yeah, I think she definitely went too far with the abortion comment. But she should be, like, the mother should be stepping up to actually mother her child. Like, if she knew. Like, she said something like, oh, she wasn't prepared to. Yes, judging us my talent. Let's go. But yeah, I don't think she was really ready to parent the child like she said. But I also think that the person telling the story definitely could have helped him with like some money stuff, like even a little bit. But by the sounds of things, she didn't help at all. Which again, I can see why, but like, come on, you gotta have a little bit, I guess.
The asshole for telling my sister she was dating my biological father.
Hold on.
What? How are you? I'm doing okay. How are you all doing? Can we get a check-in? How are we all doing? Are we doing well? Have we eaten and have water? Well, yeah, have we, check-in time, chat. Have we all eaten? Had water? Medication if you need to take it? I'm just gonna replay that question because what?
Telling my sister she was dating my biological father.
You'll sit. Wouldn't they make. Hang on.
That's CPS.
Am I the asshole for telling my sister she was dating my biological father?
Wouldn't that make it her dad too? Unless they're stepsisters? I got a puppy and I didn't eat lunch since my dad isn't home yet. Really short. Well, yeah, if your puppy, yes, puppy, you should, I don't know if you're in the Discord or if you can be, but you should, but anyone who wants to be in the Discord, !Discord, and you'll be linked over to that. We have a great time in there. Great vibes. I didn't eat lunch yet. I mean, you can eat lunch, I guess, unless you eat lunch together, then that's fair. Family stroke, but yeah, so, okay, so hold up. Unless they're stepsisters, that makes it her dad too. Because the fact that she says, like, biological... Okay, you know what? Let's just watch and find out.
Hold on. Oh my god. What? I need time to process this.
She goes, I, 24 female, and the product of my mom having an affair. Fortunately, my dad decided to forgive my mom and keep me, and I had a pretty good upbringing. When I was 17, my mom took me out for ice cream and introduced me to my bio father. She said that she felt I was old enough to know the truth and explained about her affair, while also, A, making me promise I wouldn't tell my older sister, 27 female, in the present, and B, hammering home, along with my bio dad, that he'd never be a part of my life and didn't want me. It was a lot, I won't lie. Fast forward to the present, my big sister has always gravitated towards older men. And 2 months ago, she shared a picture of herself and her new boyfriend.
Oh my god.
Who, to my shock, turned out to be my biological father.
Am I the asshole for admitting my pregnancy at a baby's funeral?
Wait, that's it? That's it? Oh my god, no, you tell her! No, oh, that's gonna get so messy so quickly. No. No, yes, tell her. You are not the asshole. Tell her. Oh my god. Into all the... What were their ages again? Bruh, because, like, yeah, that's pretty old. What? Okay, she didn't know. At least she didn't do it on purpose. That, because, ooh. Striker, how are you, my dude? How are you? Long time no see. You missed the story. Don't worry, we've got plenty more to come. But what? No. Okay, she didn't know, so that's a point there. But like, you tell her immediately, bro. No, that's my dad. Okay, I love reacting to these. Yeah, same. That's why we're doing it together. Oh, but yeah.
I, 32 female, am now 8 weeks pregnant.
Wait, what are you the asshole for?
Am I the asshole for admitting my pregnancy at a baby's funeral?
Oh!
I, 32 female,
I'm gonna say yes already.
am now 8 weeks pregnant with my third child. 2 weeks ago, my sister, 34 female, went into labor at 30 weeks and her little boy unfortunately didn't make it. It was understandably really traumatic and she's been inconsolable, especially because of the fact that it took her 4 years to conceive.
Ooh.
A couple days later, I found out that I was pregnant at 6 weeks and 3 days. I figured it was best not to tell her as it was too soon and it would put salt in the already gaping wound. My family does know that we were trying. My morning sickness was getting really bad, but I never considered canceling as I needed to support my sister. The service did go according to plan, but problems started happening at the wake.
Am I the asshole for telling my wife's friend to...
Where's the rest of the story? Bro, I give you one job. Okay, well... I don't even need to know the rest of the story. Like, yeah. If any time to announce it, not at the kid's funeral. Not at the kids. And if you do want to break it to her, maybe wait until like a couple weeks after the funeral. And if you start showing, maybe avoid for a couple weeks. And then be like, hey, I know this is probably a touchy subject for you, but like, you're my family and I want to celebrate it. So yeah, I'm pregnant. Not at the fucking...
To eat a salad. My wife has a friend that she has had.
Rewind that. Sometime you and I need to do a stream together and do that 5-minute... Oh, 5-minute crafts! Yes! I'll do 5-minute crafts if we run out of stories.
Problems started happening at the wake.
Okay.
Am I the asshole for telling my wife's friend to eat a salad?
Yes,
my
possibly.
wife has a friend that she has had since high school. In high school, they were both around 105 pounds. However, since then, the friend has gained an excessive amount of weight and is closer to 200 to 2.
That's the equivalent of my aunt saying if he fell ill with my dog and my brother's shoot. Wait, did that actually happen? Oh no. Please don't, please tell me that's just hypothetical and you're just... No. No. Oh, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Oh my god, no. I mean, I get she was probably trying to be sympathetic, but... Then I said to my mom's face, no! Like, I get you're probably trying to be sympathetic and everything, and loss of a pet is devastating. I still can't think about mine. I don't know how loud it is for you guys, but Rush E just aggressively started playing in my ear. But no! Oh, that's not no! That's its own Am I the Asshole story right there. Bruh. If Rushy out of nowhere, Rushy out of nowhere. I got Spotify on, so to cover up some background noise, but I can't have it too loud or you won't hear the talking. But yeah, if you guys have any Am I the Arsehole stories and you want to share, of course you don't have to if you don't want to, but like, oh, yeah, I got Spotify on in the background, so when we're just pausing and everything, it's still got some, but I also don't want to make it too loud to where we can't hear them.
15. My wife is very health conscious and always works out, so even though she's in her mid-30s, she still looks around 19 to 20 years old, and is very toned and fit, and only weighs around 120 pounds. Anytime her friend sees her, she makes comments about my wife being too skinny and needs to eat a burger. It bothers my wife and pisses me off when she does this. Well, we moved across the country years ago, so she only deals with it every couple years when she comes to visit. The last time she was here, she wasted no time busting out the burger comment. After we picked her up from the airport, we stopped for lunch. As soon as we sat down, she pointed to the burger section and told my wife she should order something from there. As soon as she said it, I pointed out that they have several salad options and she should really consider ordering one. Am I the asshole?
Burn returned, in my opinion. Okay, so she's constantly making comments at her, but he's just kind of thrown it back. So while they're both the asshole in that situation, she kind of deserved it. Honestly, she's just throwing the comment back, honestly. So no, I don't think so. I forgot I watched Barbie on crack. That's just the recommended video right there. Oh my god, friend, please be quiet. I don't think so. Years of these comments. Yeah. Finally threw it back. Good on him. This one, I guess. Ooh, surround sound.
Am I the asshole for buying my cousin's dream car to prove a point? I, 26-year-old female, work a corporate job at a major fast food chain. I won't say the exact title, but I don't work at an office and spend most of my time visiting and coaching stores and associates. Because of this, my family seems to be under the impression that my job is a loser job, despite me making well over $150,000 a year. I think this perception is exasperated by the fact that I'm a frugal person who doesn't tend to surround myself with expensive things. My cousin, 34-year-old male, is a physics professor at a nearby state university and has done very little to hide the fact that he looks down on my job. From what I understand, we make similar money, but he's still paying off his doctorate degree. I didn't go to college. He has a much bigger house and mortgage and 2 kids. I'm child-free, meaning I have much more disposable income than him. For nearly 2 years, he's been talking about how he really wants a Tesla Model X and how he's slowly saving money for it. He'll joke about how much he wants it by describing how he sees it in his dreams in exquisite detail. Well, several months back while we were at my aunt's birthday party, my cousin made yet another backhanded joke about when I get a real job and make real money, and it was like the straw that broke the camel's back. I was so beyond done. I went back home immediately after the party and ordered a Tesla Model X for myself, exactly to the specifications he has described. So, a couple of weeks ago, I picked up my car and brought it home. I didn't tell a single soul in my family I bought it. But yesterday, I had plans to pick up my cousin's older son to babysit, and I knew it was finally time. I rolled up to my cousin's house in my shiny new Tesla that I washed and polished just that morning specifically for this meetup. Needless to say, cousin was pissed. He asked me all about it with strained enthusiasm and got visibly more angry the more he noticed it was just like the one he wanted. So, in what I would assume was retaliation, he tried to make a comment about, wow, it must have been an adventure and a half to find a bank willing to give you a loan like this. I laughed him off and casually told him I wouldn't know since I paid in cash, which is true. He questioned me, so I pulled up a picture on my phone of the title with my name on it. I think that was what broke him because he quickly ended the conversation and went back inside. But now I've been getting messages from his siblings saying how I'm a petty bitch. Even my mom said that she thought he was an ass, but I shouldn't have escalated just because I could. And while I adore my new car, getting back at my cousin wasn't as satisfying as I thought I'd be. So I'm really beginning to wonder if I am the asshole here. Am I?
Am I the asshole?
I do like the little petty revenge, I'll be honest. I'm already plotting half petty revenge plots at my old job, so he deserves it, trust me. Won't get into it, but he does. Am I the asshole for now? Asshole story, but when okay, we have one. Okay, so this is not an asshole story, but when I got my puppy, I wanted to name it. What? My parents said you already said you're gonna name the baby Buddy, Harry, Max, Arian, Allie, George. You're gonna name a puppy after. No, you're not. Really? Oh, that's so. You named the bunny Max, Arian, Allie, and Tori. Precious, don't make me cry on stream, I swear to God. That's so cute. I've never had someone name something after me. Oh, what did you end up naming it though? While you're typing that, well, I assume you're typing that out. Kisses? Is that the action or is that what you named it? Like the chocolate? That's actually really cute, I love that. That's so cute, yes! I love that name, Little Kisses. But yes, so with the story, I do love a little petty revenge. Like I said, I have plotted some myself and I am this close. I am this close to enacting it. It is deserved, trust me. But yeah. Flexing with a Tesla, it's a war. But yeah, I reckon maybe a bit too far. But it's also really funny. I named my new fish after Bandit Healer from Bluey. Oh! Bandit the Better. Oh, I love that. Dude, Bluey is like, I keep seeing these clips on TikTok about Bluey, and it's like, is this a kid's show anymore? Like I'm assuming it's a recent episode, like with the aunt and how she can't have kids or something. That keeps popping up, and I'm like, oh, it's breaking my heart every time. Like I said, also to an extent, but kind of deserved. I mean, I also don't really spend too much money. I mean, obviously I'll use like a couple hundred. This wasn't even like $30. Like I'll use it where it's necessary, like on like work shoes and equipment. But I will be a cheapskate until the day I die, okay? Even when creating the new Haruven, I was like, is there a cheap way to do this? And there was. Thank God. Yes, Brandy to be fertile. Yes, I love how they address the hard subjects like that. Yes, me too. It's so sweet. I randomly just tasted caramel jersey. What's going on here? No, I really want one. I'm gonna go down a craze. I'm gonna go down the shops after this, buy a packet of caramel jerseys. But yeah, I would cheapskate stuff as much as I can, and I think I get it from my mom. Because I was at where my friend's boyfriend works, but I call him Syrup because my friend's name is Pancake, so his name is Syrup. So I was at where Syrup works, and I was like, oh, can I get like, I wanted to pick up photos or something for my mom. And he was like, oh, I wonder why the name sounded so familiar. Your mom's always coming to be like, just constantly price checking stuff. And I was like, hey, we want the cheapest option. And he's like, yeah, but we have the cheapest price. I was like, do you though? And he's like, I see. I was like, oh, that's probably where I get it from. It's not a bad way to go. Like, I'm saving money at least. Speaking of that, I will be spending a couple hundred when Eric drops their merch, so it's worth it. I have a hard time budgeting. I mean, same. I want Centrelink pay, so you can't really blame me too much. But yeah, I had a point. Where was I going with this? But yeah, hello? But yeah, I will cheapskate where I can. Again, things with like work shoes. I'll even try to go cheap on equipment. This is from K-Hub. This mic is from K-Hub. Kmart, sorry. We call it... It's K-Hub here because it's that small. But yeah, I got this from Kmart. My mouse is from Kmart. When I get a keyboard, it's going to be the one from Kmart. My monitor, I might have to get somewhere else. I was going to get my cousin's second-hand one, but apparently that's broken now. But either way, I'm going to do it as cheap as possible. I'm going to be buying Syrup's old PC. Like, monitor, like, not monitor, the actual thing. It's not a bad thing to be cheap, is all I'm saying. Moral of the story.
For refusing to apologize for throwing away my dinner instead of letting my fiance have it. I, female 22, have been with my fiance, male 20, for 2 years, and we recently got engaged. I handle cooking while he takes care of other stuff, including rent and utilities. He usually tells me what he'd like to eat for dinner. Note, I only cook dinner 3 times a week. Other than that, we have plenty of leftovers. Last night, I cooked dinner early because he wanted to eat early. I prepared his plate and put my plate in the fridge, ready to reheat for later. I finished with studying and took a shower, then went into the kitchen to reheat my dinner and sat at the table by myself and began eating. My fiance came out of the bedroom, saying he smelled the food while he was inside playing video games, and thought of joining me because he was hungry. Without even asking, he put his hands on my plate, wanting to eat from it. I stopped him and told him he was being selfish as he already ate his, a larger portion of what was cooked for dinner, and the food on my plate was barely enough for me. He complained about being hungry from playing video games.
No,
come on.
Dude, brain power, dude. That takes a lot of energy.
You know how much muscles in my thumbs? I have to feed these beasts.
He made a face and went to grab a spoon so we could eat together. I pulled my plate away and pointed at the fridge, telling him there was some leftovers in the fridge and he could go ahead and reheat that if he was so hungry. He refused and insisted to share my dinner. I stood my ground and I didn't let him. He got all pissed, threw his spoon in the sink, and spit in my plate.
Oh, Jesus fucking Christ.
Wow.
What an insane reaction.
What a turn.
I was 100% taken by surprise and was so livid. I shouted, "What the fuck did you just do?" He just smirked at me, telling me to enjoy as he walked out.
Oh god, this guy is so fucking cool.
I called him fucking childish, and he turned around and walked back in saying I was the one acting like a high school bully for refusing to let him share my dinner and telling him to just have leftovers. I said he was being selfish and petty to spit in my plate to stop me from eating, and he managed to do it. I was so upset I couldn't eat what was in my plate. It was gross and disgusting. I threw it in the garbage. And he threw another fit asking why I would throw away perfect food, and he was counting on me giving it to him after he spit on it. We had a major fight, probably the biggest fight we've ever had thus far.
Makes sense.
He says that I was wrong. I escalated, and he wants me to apologize first so we could put this past us, but I said no way. I'm not apologizing after he ruined my dinner and disregarded the time and effort I made to prepare it.
The asshole for walking.
No, oh my god. Okay, there was a lot of activity in chat. Devil cookies. Oh, it's gone now. Not the asshole. Hi, Aletta. How are you? Am I too late? No, you are not. We're reacting to some stories. They're very interesting. Break up with him. Break up with him. Yeah, break up with him, honey. No, Okay, if his plan was for her to give him the food after he spat in it, out of spite, separate it like where he spat and eat the rest. And especially if she got like little to nothing. Like, dude, no, yeah, go freaking heat up your own food. I hope they broke up. This one says part 1, so hopefully it's not,
Walking out of my husband's birthday dinner when his sister was complaining about her fertility. My husband's parents threw my husband a birthday dinner at their home last Saturday. During dinner, his sister announced she was pregnant with her 6th child. Everyone congratulated her and my husband grew quiet. He and I have been trying for a baby for 7 years now and only just saved the money for IVF. Once the commotion about the new member of the family settled, my sister-in-law started her usual commentary on how much it sucks to be so fertile. She said she feels like she'll never be able to stop having kids because the pill and contraceptive injection both failed and now she's not a good fit for an IUD. She even pointed out that she'd been pregnant so often they don't even need to have full sex anymore for her to get knocked up. Am I the asshole for walking out of my husband's birthday dinner when his sister was complaining about her fertility?
Okay, before we go on with part 2, the choices for the puppy's name is Haruhi and Haruka Amber. Oh, Amber, but they didn't want. Oh, that's so cute. Precious, please. Oh my god, I love that. Sorry for missing for so long. Wish I really got well. That's fine, dude. That's understandable. Why is there makeup during the story? Oh, it's a TikTok compilation. Because that's just where I get all the good stories, I guess. But yeah, so from my understanding, my brain gets a little distracted when listening to these. Probably not the arsehole. I agree with Striker.
I couldn't take it and walked out. My husband followed me and I could see he was holding back some tears too. He apologized for saying nothing and I said he didn't need to because he was obviously struggling too. By the time we made it home, his parents had called saying they were so sorry and how none of that was meant to happen. His sister, on the other hand, called me a killjoy and a drama queen, and she told me it was rude to walk out after all her parents' hard work and for spoiling the celebration of a pregnancy. I hung up on her and I want to cry because her words stuck in my head. Since then, she and my husband got into a fight because she called me selfish and said I made the dinner about me. I wish I could feel like she's totally wrong, but I worry she's right.
I, 35-year-old female.
Okay, yeah, no. It's understandable you'd want to walk out, like, rubbing it in your face that they have something that, like, you can't. That's rude. Not the outside, gotta go eat. Yeah, no, that's fine. I should have probably eaten before stream, actually, so yeah. Oh, knows why. Every stream, man. Okay,
threw away old photos of my husband 44
of a pregnancy.
Let's just rewind
I hung up on her and I want to cry because her words stuck in my head. Since then, she and my husband got into a fight because she called me selfish and said I made the dinner about me. I wish I could feel like she's totally wrong, but I worry she's right.
I, 35.
I feel like I should have like I would definitely do this with like a nice little drink, like a little spicy drink, a little alcohol. But it's 2 p.m. It's too early for that. Why is it always the siblings of the arsehole? I know, right?
5-year-old female.
So I threw away all my photos of my husband's dead wife. Ooh.
Threw away old photos of my husband, 44 male, with his late wife years ago. He just found out and he hates me for it. I met my husband 4 years ago and it was love at first sight. He was a widow and he had a daughter who is now 17. It was tough to deal with, I won't lie, but I wanted to be with him so badly that it didn't matter. We got married 2 years ago and we've had our struggles, I won't deny, but overall it was a very happy, love-filled marriage. At the beginning of our relationship, I was really jealous of his late wife. He had pictures of her around his home, his family loved her and talked about her all the time. It was tough. I was constantly comparing myself to her. She was beautiful, intelligent, and successful. She was a great mother, friend, wife, whatever you can think of. I did speak to my then boyfriend about these feelings, and he even took down some of the pictures later on in our relationship. Still, his house never felt like my home, as it felt like it was still hers. When we got engaged, we decided we would buy our own home, and we moved in right before we got married. During the moving process, I found box after box of old photos and other materials. Photos of his ex, family photos, photos of them together, baby photos, everything. Some of these were even Polaroids. They were so old. They had been together for many, many years and had so much history together. I don't know why at that moment I snapped, but I did. I threw the ones with her in them away in the garbage. When we were putting photos up in the new house, I didn't put any of her except ones with my stepdaughter. There was a box of her things, and I donated some of the items and threw the rest of them away. I even went onto the computer and deleted photos he had stored on there. At the time, I felt like I won maybe. I don't even know what I was thinking this would accomplish, but I did it. For the past 2 years, my husband hasn't noticed. My stepdaughter turns 18 soon. She's a very intelligent girl. She graduated early, goes to a top-tier school, and is very well adjusted for someone who lost her mother so young. Anyway, my husband's mom wanted photos of her as she was putting something together for her. He went to look for them, and as you can imagine, they weren't there. He asked me about them, and I admitted everything to him as I wasn't going to lie to him. He is very angry at me, and he can barely look at me. I've asked him to go to marriage counseling, but he refuses. I'm 13 weeks pregnant, and I'm trying to manage the stress. He's devastated, not just for his daughter, but for himself. I know he loved his late wife very much, and if she was still here, he'd probably still be with her. He's been in tears half the time when he's speaking to me, and he won't sleep in the same room. I've tried to explain that I have felt guilty ever since and why I did it, but he doesn't care. He asked me what he's supposed to tell his daughter. Some of the material I donated/threw away were really important. I know that I screwed up, and I know that I need to make this up to my husband and his daughter, but I don't know how to. This was such a monumental screw up on my part. I've always been jealous of her, and I did not handle my emotions correctly. I have tried to track down photos of her by other people, and while I did find some from his parents and her friends, her parents died when she was young, and she was raised by her grandparents who are now dead. There aren't many photos of her out there.
Am I the asshole?
Yep, asshole. Okay, I was gonna say, at first, it's probably, like, I'm assuming that she passed away while they were still together. So fair, and obviously he's moved on enough to be with someone new. But again, they've got a lot of like history and everything together. But I was gonna say he probably should have taken them down, or even at least just have one or two. But she did say they talked about it, and he took some down, so that's good. But like you burnt out, oh dude. It's like, and again, like they said, what are they gonna tell her daughter now that she doesn't have anything of the mom? Like, that's so rude. Okay, also, we don't know it's true. But yeah, definitely should have talked about it again. Also, thank you, Nightbot. Ye old Nightbot. And yes, if you do subscribe, chat, you'll have access to my sub server, which hopefully I shouldn't really be saying it's a sub server when I don't have it set up to be a sub server, but so far it's a sub server. But regardless, you should subscribe.
For telling the truth in my wedding toast? I'm a 30-year-old male, and my best friend got married last week. I just bought a house, and my wife is expecting our son in November. So I let him know I was limited in what I could contribute financially, but did tell him I would try my best. So I went to the bachelor party in Maine. I rented the tux and paid for mine and my wife's dinner at the rehearsal dinner. I also had a gift of $300 that I was going to give them, but we'll get to why I didn't give it to them later. His, now wife, then fiance, texted me multiple times a day with updates. I didn't always respond, and it got to the point to where if I didn't respond at least once a day, I'd get a call from my buddy. She texted me for the following reasons. 1. My wife was not allowed to talk about our pregnancy at all. She didn't want anyone to focus on that more than her, the bride. 2.
Okay.
She was not going to order special food for my wife. No one asked her to. My wife was fine with whatever she was going to be served. 3. I was not helping the groom enough. He had to help her with favors, seating charts, and programs, so I had to help him with those things, according to her. She also said to get ready to help with thank you notes after the wedding.
That is... what?
4. She said if I was a true best man, I would offer to pay for the bar bill. I don't even know what that means.
What? That's...
5. She had to read and approve my speech before the rehearsal dinner and wanted to be included as much as my buddy. She told me to make up things if I had to. I was also not allowed to include anyone but the two of them. And no inside jokes or stories about my buddy that didn't include her. Her last text said to tell my wife to keep it together. and not make a pregnancy scene during the wedding.
This woman sounds awful.
Yeah.
3 of the 6 were about this dude's wife being
Yeah,
pregnant.
why did she keep bringing in the wife?
Also, she wanted her to choose a dress that downplayed her pregnancy as much as possible.
I was gonna,
Not surprised,
I was gonna
honestly.
make that joke, and I was like, "Oh, what? She wants you to wear a dress where you don't look pregnant?"
I was just so aggravated. I spoke to my friend to see if he could reason with her. He told me to just play ball on this one. It's her day and to cut him a break, because he'd be dealing with her nonsense for the rest of his life. The day of, all the bride and my buddy did was scold me, berate me, and bark orders. I headed down to the bar for a drink. The bride's mother is there, and warns me not to get drunk because I've ruined her daughter's day enough. Final straw. I didn't give him the card with the cash, and in the speech, I used my friend's exact wording about having to deal with her nonsense for the rest of his life. I wished him the best and told him I'd always be there for him, especially during the divorce. Am I the asshole?
I mean, yeah.
Yeah. Like, I get it, but...
Am I the ass?
Okay, so also if these volumes are obviously going to change a little bit, so do let me know if it's maybe if I pause that it'll be a bit louder because then you don't have the music. But yeah, so definitely let me know if the volumes changed or anything. But oh yeah, I have a fun just an inkling of a feeling that the bride and the wife don't get along too much. I can definitely get not wanting to bring up the pregnancy at the wedding because it is their special day, but by the sounds of things, they already knew. So if they didn't know, definitely don't announce like your pregnancy during the wedding. But if everyone already knew, like what? Also, how can you? I can't remember how. I don't know if they said how far along she was, but if it's a fair decent away, it's gonna be a little hard to hide that. But yeah, I think she was definitely too controlling, so deserved it, but a little too far. Yes and no, exactly. That's, yeah.
For breaking a patient's confidentiality to tell my friend that her boyfriend is HIV positive.
Ooh.
So this has been eating me up inside for the past week. So I'm going to lay it all out here. One of my closest friends, Amanda, started dating a guy, Matt, about 2 months ago.
Okay.
I'd met him twice before and he seemed pretty seedy to me. But she was happy, so overall, I was happy for them. I work at our local hospital. I won't divulge too much about my role, but I'm not involved in providing medical care.
This dude sounds like a radio announcer, and that is all I'm saying.
i.e., I'm not a physician or nurse. But I do have access to patient records and am permitted to look through them under certain circumstances with ethics approval. I came across Matt's chart just over a week ago. I was not snooping. I was explicitly gathering patient information for an approved task, and he was one of the patients in the pile of charts. It's not too much of a coincidence. I was going through around 500 patient records, and this is the only nearby hospital. I discovered that Matt was HIV positive from his chart. I was unsure whether Amanda was aware. I wrestled with this in many different directions. Should I mind my own business and not violate confidentiality and risk her contracting the disease? Should I approach him first even though it's not my place and we've only met twice? Should I go straight to her just to confirm that she knows? Ultimately, I felt an obligation to her as my friend and to her well-being. So I told her. Knowing her, I felt like she was unaware since she is generally extremely risk-averse, and something seemed off about this guy, so I felt like approaching him might not accomplish anything. She was shocked to find out about his HIV status and broke up with him. Amanda was thankful to me, but evidently, she let him know how she found out, as I was let go from my position 2 days ago. I understood the risk I was taking and hoping it was a calculated risk, but now I'm wondering if I overstepped by breaking confidentiality. Am I the asshole?
Am I the
I mean, I definitely would have gone to him first, especially with the confidentiality, and that's, our law. But yeah, I definitely would have gone to him first and then see, and like, hey, does she know? And then you can kind of get an answer from that, and then if he said no, then maybe tell her, But that's still kind of breaking confidentiality. Or does it because you're talking about it as friends? Loophole? That's, maybe.
Asshole for not acknowledging that I have a sister. 9 years ago, we found out that my mother had a 5-year affair with someone she met from work. My parents divorced.
But now I'm wondering if I overstepped by breaking confidentiality. Am I the asshole?
Am I the asshole for not acknowledging that I have a sister? 9 years ago, we found out that my mother had a 5-year affair with someone she met from work. My parents divorced and she went to get remarried to the man, Greg. My mother moved her husband and his daughter from a previous marriage into our house, and I lived with them before I left for college. I remained in minimal contact with them until Kylie, my stepsister, joined my company and started working in my department. Nobody was aware of our relation since we had different last names, and I told Kylie not to disclose anything about this. Last Friday, while clocking into work with a few of my coworkers, Kylie came up to me and asked if I could come home for a family dinner. By lunch, our entire department was gossiping about it, and Kylie would confirm their suspicions. Fed up with all of this, I told the department that I do not have a sister. Things died down at work, and I agreed to make it to dinner considering it was my mother's birthday. At dinner, I was bombarded with questions about why I refused to acknowledge my sister at work and refused to even call her my sister. My stepfather Greg told me I was a petty bully for embarrassing Kylie at work and that he has had enough of me mistreating his daughter. He told my mother that
Yeah, sorry about that, chat. We had a moment. I hope you're all back. The stream stopped. It did stop. It does that. And it's very annoying, and I don't know why. There we go. Okay. My god. It lags out for like a good 20 seconds. And it sucks because if I've got music on, it goes and it glitches and it annoys me so much. It's very loud. So yeah, that's gonna. I have to edit the streams together again. Okay. Thank you, OBS. You are much help. Fuck's sake. It's fine. It's fine. Okay, we're gonna restart that story again. I hope you're all coming back in. Sorry for that.
Your affair with someone she met from work. My parents divorced and she went to get remarried to the man, Greg. My mother moved her husband and his daughter from a previous marriage into our house, and I lived with them before I left for college. I remained in minimal contact with them until Kylie, my stepsister, joined my company and started working in my department. Nobody was aware of our relation since we had different last names, and I told Kylie not to disclose anything about this. Last Friday, while clocking into work with a few of my coworkers, Kylie came up to me and asked if I could come home for a family dinner. By lunch, our entire department was gossiping about it, and Kylie would confirm their suspicions. Fed up with all of this, I told the department that I do not have a sister. Things died down at work, and I agreed to make it to dinner considering it was my mother's birthday. At dinner, I was bombarded with questions about why I refused to acknowledge my sister at work and refused to even call her my sister. My stepfather Greg told me I was a petty bully for embarrassing Kylie at work and that he has had enough of me mistreating his daughter. He told my mother that my misbehavior was a result of my parents' coddling. He demanded that I address him as my father and Kylie as my sister and to tell everyone at work that too. At this point, I had enough of his relentless chastising, so I told him that all he signed was a marriage certificate and not adoption papers, so I am not his daughter, therefore will not be addressing him as my father. Oof. I brought up the fact that I know my dad has created an account for my college fund and paid child support each month, but they use the funds to purchase a new car and to pay off credit card debt. I always found it weird that Kylie never had to get a job to go to college and could afford to stay in a nice apartment during her years there. Kylie was crying by the end of the argument. My mother broke down and yelled at me to stop, while Greg called me an ungrateful bitch. I told them that if they only had the capacity to acknowledge and care for one daughter, then do not expect me to be in Kylie's life as her big sister, and left the house. I guess Kylie posted about it on social media because friends and family called me up. Some told me I was being harsh and unfair to Greg and my mother, who took care of me, as well as Kylie, who had nothing to do with this, while some understood where I was coming from. So am I the asshole for my reaction?
Am I the asshole?
Yes and no. I think I missed the part at the start. Like, what was her beef with them? Yes and no. Bit of a wavy hand, more towards yes. Wavy hand, more towards yes. That's my opinion.
For being frustrated that my girlfriend doesn't work hard at her job and gets paid nearly twice as much as I do. My girlfriend and I both.
Imagine working the same job and only getting paid like a less amount.
work in tech. When we both worked in different offices, I didn't know much about her day-to-day life at work. I knew she made a lot more than me, $120,000 compared to my $66,000. But since we've been working from home, I've seen a lot of her daily schedule, and hers versus mine are very different. She gets up around 9:15 to drag herself into the home office for her 9:30 to 10 o'clock meeting. After the meeting, she goes and showers, has breakfast, and from about 10 to 10:45, answering just a few Slack messages and emails on her phone, but mostly just listening to podcasts and eating and doing her morning routine.
I wonder if she listens to the Judgies podcast.
If you're listening to this, you should listen to the Judgies podcast.
If you're listening to this, tell your girlfriend to listen to the Judges podcast. Am I the asshole for being frustrated that my girlfriend doesn't work hard at her job? She'll work till noon and takes a lunch break from noon till 1. Then she works from 1 to 4, often having meetings or working on her own stuff. And at 4, we'll spend an hour or so doing household chores and stuff. I, on the other hand, basically work nonstop from 8:30 to 5 or maybe even 6, working 8.5 hours, 9.5 hours a day. And a few weeks ago, I kind of got frustrated with her for basically hardly doing anything for her job if she was spending half the day just slacking. She got frustrated with me and said that they hired her for her knowledge and it wasn't my place to say what her time was worth.
Correct.
Sure,
And
yeah.
if her boss and CEO saw the work she produced, that it wasn't my place to undervalue her because I was being jealous. I said that she was being a little privileged. Not a lot of people can just choose to make 6 figures and wander off from work for practically half the day.
Am I the asshole for wanting to sue my husband's sister?
How about just let it do a job? How about just leaving her alone? Just let her do a job. Maybe they work different jobs, I'm assuming. You can't really compare.
For losing my $2,000 camera at the beach? My
Probably.
sister-in-law moved in with me and my husband weeks ago because of problems with her boyfriend. She isn't planning on going back till he apologizes, even though she broke his Xbox device in an argument. I'm a blogger and I have a small space in our apartment, sort of like an office, where I work for hours. Sister-in-law would come and take things out of the room and not return them, so I put a lock on the door. She was going to the beach with friends and asked if she could borrow my camera, and I told her no because I needed it for the weekend. I got done with my project and left the camera at the desk. When I woke up the next day, I entered my office and didn't see my camera. I freaked out and my husband told me to calm down because his sister took it with her to the beach. I the asshole for wanting to sue my husband's sister for losing my $2,000 camera at the beach? I kept worrying about it and was upset at the fact that my husband gave her the key. When she got back, she said she was pissed about getting in a fight with her boyfriend after seeing him with someone at the beach today. She said she cried and cussed him out, and I asked for my camera and she said she didn't have it. She said she forgot it after the encounter and that her friend Aiden picked some of the stuff up and brought it back, but said that the camera got stolen. I started yelling, calling her irresponsible and reckless, and that was a $2,000 camera. She apologized and blamed it on her ex-boyfriend and the girl that he was with. I said I needed my camera for work and she needed to replace it. My husband got involved and said it wasn't her fault and that I can get a cheaper one from Amazon for now. I the asshole for wanting to sue my husband's sister for losing my $2,000 camera at the beach? My husband said it wasn't her fault it got stolen and suggested I buy a cheaper camera from Amazon for now till I can afford to buy a new one. I said, what? Why would I buy a replacement when it was his sister who lost it? She took it without permission and was responsible for whatever happened after. He tried to make excuses for her being an emotional mess, and I said I have no problem suing her. He asked if I was serious, and I said yes because I've worked hard to get that camera. He said he was trying to help, but I said he was just trying to help his sister avoid responsibility. Both him and his sister aren't speaking to me anymore and claiming they're giving me time to calm down. But really, they're just cold shouldering me and making me feel guilty.
Am I the asshole for leaving a family gathering?
No. I'm gonna say no on that one because she went in and stole the camera after saying no. If anyone stole my stream equipment, I would kill them. /J, Twitch, TOS, I'm not, haha. But yeah, no, if anyone took my equipment without my permission and ended up stealing it, no. I would hate them forever. So yeah, like, she owes her, and it's a $2,000 camera! I don't even know how much this one cost. This one was like a present. But yeah, nah, she owes her a new camera.
And insisting my mother-in-law apologize over M&Ms. My wife, 34 female,
sorry,
and I,
what?
31 female, have 2 wonderful...
Both him and his sister aren't speaking to me anymore and claiming they're giving me time to calm down.
Back up, what?
But really, they're just cold shouldering me and making me feel guilty.
Am I the asshole for leaving a family gathering and insisting my mother-in-law apologize over M&Ms? My wife, 34 female, and I, 31 female, have 2 wonderful children together, 4-year-old twins. They were conceived with my wife's eggs and a known sperm donor, and I carried/birthed them. Both kids ended up being practical clones of my wife, so it's pretty clear to everyone who contributed to the genetic material. My in-laws had everyone together at their house earlier this month. My kids were outside playing with their cousins, and my sister-in-law and mother-in-law and I were chatting in the kitchen. At one point, my 2 run inside from playing and ask if they could have some M&Ms that they see on the counter. I tell them, no, we'll be eating in 15 minutes. You can have them after dinner. A little bit later, my sister-in-law and I get the call that food is ready, so we go outside and I see my kids each have a little cup full of M&Ms that they are eating. I told my kids that they knew they were not supposed to be eating those and took away the cups. My mother-in-law comes over and says that she gave them the M&Ms and that they can have them. To which I replied, no, they can't. It's dinner time. You were there when I told them no. Mother-in-law says again that they can have some chocolate, it's fine, and tries to take the cups out of my hands. We go back and forth, prompting my wife to start walking over to us just in time to hear her mother say in front of our kids, I'm saying it's okay. They aren't even your kids. They're my daughters. Just give them the chocolate. My wife had her mom repeat herself and said something like, absolutely not. We are leaving. I put the M&Ms on the nearest table, grabbed both kids, who were now softly crying, and started to pack our stuff. The whole event erupted into chaos. Father-in-law screaming about the disrespect of us leaving, grandmother crying, brother-in-law and his wife arguing with their father-in-law, mother-in-law crying that her only daughter is abandoning her. It's a mess. After a couple hours at home, the kids seemed okay, but mother-in-law saying I'm not their mom really scared them. My wife spent about 4 hours on rotating phone calls with all of her family, from father-in-law screaming at her, mother-in-law crying over how we took her grandkids away over M&Ms and made her out to be the bad grandma, brother-in-law trying to get in the drama, grandmother depressed, saying she would die without seeing her great-grandkids again. My wife's message to all of them was that mother-in-law needed to apologize to me and to our children for what she said. We made it clear that we would have no problem spending time with grandma and brother-in-law's family, but we would not bring the kids around my mother-in-law until she apologized. As you can guess, the apology hasn't happened, but the phone calls of guilt trips, yelling and crying have not let up. I feel an apology is not even a big deal, and at this point, mother-in-law is making the choice not to see her grandkids. I want to hold firm, but I know how hard this all is on my wife, even if I really don't think it's my fault. Am I the asshole for insisting for an apology?
Am I the asshole?
I mean, there's always like crazy sibling stories and crazy in-law stories. I think this is one of them because like she did tell the kids no, and then she went ahead and did it anyway. But like, I don't know, it's a tricky one. Definitely you should apologize for that comment. I don't think so. It's a wavy line. It's another wavy line one.
For liking a guy that I think my friend likes. I started high school 2 years ago, and on my
wait. So what's the story?
Even if I really don't think it's my fault, am I the asshole for insisting for an apology?
Am I the asshole?
Okay, am I the asshole for liking a guy I think my friend likes? Okay, here's the thing. Alright, before we get into the story, the title automatically reminds me of this thing. I said to my mom. So I came home from school one day. And I said to my mom, like, God, these like girls in my school, like in my class, so like, oh, the drama they're going on with. Apparently, apparently one of the girls in my class, like someone that we knew, I don't remember if they started dating or gotten together with, like her ex, and I think they were broken up for a long time. And I said to my mom, like, oh, they're saying that's like not allowed. Like it's so forbidden, but like they've been broken up for so long. And my mom's just like, no, Ho, it's girl code. You don't do that. And I'm like, huh? You can tell I'm not the dating type. But still, I'm just like, if you aren't together, like I get why it would be bad, but like if you aren't together and after a long time, I didn't see the point.
For liking a guy that I think my friend likes. I started high school 2 years ago, and on my first day I met this guy. Let's call him Y. I instantly really liked him. We walked to class together and sat next to each other on the bus for our first school trip. At the same time, I became friends with this girl, and let's call her L. I introduced her to Y. Me and L had most of our classes together, including one with Y. Me, L, and Y were kind of loners, so we all became a close trio. Even though that me and L are both closer to each other than we are with Y. Me and L talk about everything except crushes. I don't know why. But I guess it's just more fun to us to guess who we like. There was a few times last year when she had asked me if I was dating Y, because she said that she got that vibe from us. I said no because I wasn't, but I didn't tell her that I liked him. I asked her if she was dating him and she also said no. It's weird because I think we both like him, but I'm not sure. I've tried to stop liking him, but it's hard. So, am I the asshole for liking him? Am I the asshole for not?
But just like, oh, honey, we're talking about just liking? Do you know if... I'm sorry, that just sounds like primary school drama. We're moving on.
Paying
That's
for my ex's
like,
surgery. My first
just
boyfriend
sounds
and I
dumb to
broke
me.
up almost 10 years ago, but we still kept in touch.
I missed
was
the
even
question.
Am I the asshole for not paying for my ex's surgery? My first boyfriend and I broke up almost 10 years ago, but we still kept in touch. I was even his best man at his wedding. So for a little background info, my ex was injured severely while we were dating, leaving him with metal plates holding his skull together and one massive scar. None of this stopped me from liking him, and we only broke up because I was moving away from my career. And a couple months later, I came out as lesbian. But we patched things up later on. As I'm coming home this year to visit my family, he's getting his plates out, which is a massive milestone. The surgery was about $20,000. While he married young, I can't say I approve completely of his choice of spouse. His wife, let's call her Tammy, used to go to school with me. She comes from a well-off family, but as I learned recently, she's given a quota of her family's money and told them that was it. Well, Tammy gambled it away and won't get a job either, leaving my ex as the only breadwinner, even though he's only a junior officer and doesn't earn that much. Then my ex asked me to pay for his surgery because I'm well off. People tend to think I have money to spare when I don't. I refused to pay, telling him he should ask Tammy's family. He said they did not want to. Then he also told me that Tammy is pregnant. Then he called me a homewrecker because he can't pay. His family says I'm the
Am I the asshole for fake sleeping all night to
that went really quick.
see if my wife is lying? The past couple of months,
I've seen this one. Yes.
My wife had been complaining about our cats. She's been claiming that the cats wake her up constantly and that she's frustrated every night that she has to get up and open the door for the cats. Or the cats keep making noises, or the cats keep jumping on her. It got me to the point where she started saying she wants me to get rid of them. I've told her I've never seen or heard any of this, but she claims I sleep through it all. She kept telling me that she was getting less and less sleep and kept acting aggressive, blaming lack of sleep from the cats and that if I didn't get rid of them, she'd leave me. I legitimately started considering giving the cats to my sister until I noticed something. One morning, she claimed she had gotten up multiple times throughout the night to help the cats. She listed a bunch of times. I thought it was weird because I had been up until 4 a.m. and she claimed that she got up at 1 a.m. to open the door for them and a few times around 3 a.m. because they were meowing and jumping on her. I was in the bedroom the entire time while she slept, and I know none of this happened. Things weren't adding up, so I decided to run a test. I waited until she said she was going to bed, then I let the cats out of our bedroom. I lowered my phone brightness and faked going to sleep. I just laid there in my bed for the entire night bored, but I definitely did not fall asleep. I made sure to make timestamps every 30 minutes on my phone through Discord just to be sure. I marked down every noise my cats made. One cat had jumped down from something and made a little noise around 3:18 a.m. and one ate food relatively quietly by the bedroom door at 4:57 a.m. Other than that, nothing happened. Sure enough, my wife slept from 11 p.m. until 9 a.m. and that morning she claimed she had woken up at least 7 times to open doors from the cat noises and cats jumping on her. At this point, I was pissed because she was clearly lying to me. I was exhausted and fed up with the lies, so I bluntly called her out on it. I told her, that's funny, I stayed up all night to monitor the cats and they weren't even in the room at all last night. I have timestamps and everything, so you've been lying to me and trying to convince me to get rid of my cats? Why? She just sat there quietly shaking and looking pissed, then got up and left without answering. She came back hours later and ignored me whenever I talked, and when I asked her how I'm the bad guy in the situation, she finally said that I was treating her like a child by lying about sleeping and staying up all night just to see if she was lying or not. And that making timestamps and everything as if I was an investigator was going too far and makes me an obsessive asshole. I did it because she was threatening to make me get rid of the cats or she'd leave me, and her claims didn't add up. So am I the obsessive asshole here?
Am I the asshole?
Oh, it's the radio talk guy again. I mean, one way to go about it, I'm gonna say no, because like, if you want to get rid of the cats, just, like, explain why. Like, be truthful about it, and then maybe you just won't have issues, is all I'm saying.
For declining to walk my daughter down the aisle at her wedding. So about 8 years ago, I got a message on Facebook from a teenager asking if I knew her mother back in college, because she might be my kid. Now, after I got over the shock, I messaged her back and we talked a little bit. I paid for a DNA test, and it turns out I have a daughter. We'll call her Jenny. We talked for a bit, and I got to know her stepdad, Jim, and her mum, Tina. One night stand, I didn't even know her last name 25 years ago. And her younger half-siblings. And they're all pretty cool. In particular, I cannot praise Jim enough. He's one of the nicest guys I've ever met. Basically a human teddy bear, this guy. Now overall, I'd say Jenny and I have a decent enough relationship. I never married and I don't have any other children, so I've been taking her on vacations with me, and she spent a few holidays at my house, but overall, our relationship is much more like that of two adults, rather than a parent and child. She doesn't call me dad, she calls Jim dad, and me Matt. I contributed to her college fund, but not as much as Jim and Tina did. And that wasn't as big a deal for me because I make a lot more money than they do, and I have no other kids. Last week, she called me to tell me that her long-term boyfriend proposed, and asked me to walk her down the aisle. I told her that I was honored, but that I didn't think it was fair for me to take that moment from Jim, who raised her since she was a toddler, just because we shared DNA. She said that she actually wants both of us to walk her down the aisle, one on either side. I told her I didn't think that it was fair to ask for him to share that moment either, and that even if Jim said that he was okay with it, and I'm sure he would because Jim wouldn't deny Jenny anything, no matter how much it hurt his feelings, it probably broke his heart for her to ask that. And she said okay, and hung up, but she hasn't been as happy to talk to me since. Am I the asshole for saying no, or do I just need to give her some time to adjust?
Am I the
Ooh. Okay, I definitely see where he's coming from while saying no, but at the same time, you really don't want to take that away from the guy that raised you. Like, I would think, because it's her day. Like, if she wants you both there, she wants you both there. So, maybe, just trying to think, maybe like have, like, again, if she asks, then sure. And the other guy might have a problem with it, but again, it's her day. Definitely communicate. I know most of these are just, half of these are just communication issues, in my opinion.
asshole for canceling my sister's bachelorette party? I, 25-year-old female, am the maid of honor to my sister, 26-year-old female. While planning her bachelorette trip, we had found a house that she liked. I was hesitant on it due to the amount of people it slept. The beach house up to 17 people. I tried talking her down to maybe like a 10 to 12 sleeper. I felt like that was much more doable since she had 10 bridesmaids. But she swore that she could definitely get 16 girls. I let her know that from the jump, any spots that she could not fill, she would be responsible to cover for that housing cost. She brushed it off because she was so confident in filling all 16 spots. I put down the non-refundable deposit of $1,600 and we've got the house. As time goes on, some bridesmaids couldn't attend and people were backing out from the trip. The final payment for the trip was in a week, and I still don't have the whole house full of girls. At this point, the rental company took a total of $2,900 from my account that is non-refundable. The total of this house is close to $5,000.
Oh,
Jesus
I
Christ.
misunderstood.
So, of course, I'm starting to stress out, especially since I'm trying to buy a house of my own soon. I told my sister to front the last 2 spots that weren't filled, and she started freaking out about putting up close to $700 and how that's not doable for her. She said she still had a lot of wedding expenses, like her hair and makeup trial and the last payment for her dress. Me being floored at this point, knowing she has no real bills, and the fact that I've put up $2,900 of my own money for her bachelorette trip and she couldn't come out of pocket $700. I told her I could cancel this trip if I really wanted to, and she responded with, "That's how you want to play this?"
Oh
There's
my
just
god.
some bad blood, Jesus. This
Long
is not gonna be a good wedding.
Long story short, I ended up canceling the trip, and I am so relieved. Half of the girls would rather have canceled due to the increase in COVID outbreaks anyways. But now my sister is completely annoyed with me. Even when I tried planning another bachelorette trip with the girls who still wanted to go, she seemed completely uninterested and just done. So I'm not going out of my way to do anything else for her. I feel like I've done enough at this point.
Yeah.
So, am I the asshole for canceling my sister's trip? Am I the asshole for proposing to my...
Tristan, thank you for the raid! That was like such a perfectly timed, we just finished that story. Hello, how is everyone? How was stream? Hi! How was stream? Thank you for the raid. Let's go! Did I see you were playing? I didn't actually see what you were playing. That is not related. Okay. I think I missed. I saw that you streamed. I missed the game. What were we doing? We have fun? We're judging people here. We're reacting to Am I the Arsehole stories, and so far they've been interesting. I just realized everyone that's joined in, like, popped in and said hi. It's always been at the end of a story. So, like, that's been well timed. But in terms of story to listen to, no, I don't think she was the arsehole. It was a non-refundable, what was it, 2,000? And yeah. I don't, oh wait, I just realized. Let's do this. I don't have it as fancy as Trista does, but I do have a little command. So, everyone go follow Trista on those. What do I have there? The Twitch and TikTok. On his Twitch and TikTok. Everyone go check out Trista. He's very cool. I don't have the little clip thing that Trista does. That's really cool. But I have tiny commands. But yes, everyone go check out Trista. He's very cool. But yeah, we're almost on this video. What's this? We're almost on this one. I know it looks like I've been here for half an hour, but the stream glitched. So it's technically been an hour and a half, which we might finish up these last couple stories.
My girlfriend, my 26 male, sister Emily, 31 female.
Why are we an asshole?
So I'm not going out of my way to do anything else for her.
As you shouldn't.
I feel like I've done enough at this point. So am I the asshole for canceling my sister's trip? Am I the asshole for proposing to my girlfriend? My 26 male, sister Emily, 31 female, got married last week. Her now husband, Jacob, 28 male, is a good friend of mine, and I introduced them. After Emily and Jacob announced their engagement, my family were constantly asking when I was going to propose to my girlfriend, Genevieve, 23. I decided I wanted to do it in front of my whole family, and the first place I thought of was Emily and Jacob's wedding.
No!
Right there, bud. You should have read the room.
No! I asked Jacob if I could propose at the wedding, and he said yes. And I thought after that it would be fine. I proposed to her at the reception, and she said no.
Oh!
And then she confessed to me that her and Jacob have been sleeping together. Hot damn!
Let's hope that's an open bar.
Am I the asshole for proposing to my girlfriend? I decided I wanted to do it in front of my whole family, and the first place I thought of was Emily and Jacob.
See, I'd say no, but if he said it's okay.
She said no.
Oh.
She confessed to me that her and Jacob have been sleeping together. Emily went crazy. She blames me for everything, saying that I ruined her whole wedding and forced her to marry a man who doesn't love her.
Well,
they didn't go on their honeymoon. Eventually, Emily calmed down and she decided to stay with Jake.
Emily, what are you doing?
Are you ready for more?
There's more.
Oh, there's more.
Stop, but don't.
Genevieve and I are broken up for good. A week after the wedding, Genevieve told me she's pregnant.
Yeah.
And she doesn't know if it's mine or Jake's. Emily flipped out again and told me that I needed to tell Genevieve to get an abortion. She said that you don't want to have a kid with such a disgusting slut. And if the baby is Jake's, it will destroy her life more than I already have. Genevieve has decided that she wants to keep the baby and won't get an abortion. Am I the asshole for everything that happened? Everyone in this story is a piece of shit.
Yes, I agree with what she has said. I was just finishing up a call, but he'll probably know during stories. I am! That one was a twister. Oh my god. But yeah, I was also saying I hope you enjoyed your gaming and everything. I hope you enjoyed your stream. And welcome to everyone that's joined in. But yeah, holy shit. The first red flag was proposing at the wedding. You never do that. But at the same time, if he said it was okay, then then yeah. But it sounds like she didn't, if she didn't tell, he didn't tell the bride as well, like, oh hey, can they propose afterwards? Why would you do that? Some of these stories are crazy, bro. You got no idea. What did we have? We had one there earlier. It was like, am I the arsehole for telling my sister she's dating my biological father? And turns out the storyteller is actually like a product of like an affair. But like the now husband, like the stepdad, was okay with it. And the mother introduced her to the biological father and was like, oh yeah, like, no, that, like, he's not gonna really want anything to do with you or anything. Like, just thought you should know. And the sister... And, like, the sister has always had a thing for older men, and when she introduced... like, when she showed a photo of the new boyfriend, it was her biological dad. We didn't know anything else. The story cut off there, but I'm assuming... she told her. I hope she did tell her. Oh my god. But that's probably the wildest one we've had, other than that one. But speaking of that story, Jesus, yeah, that's, apparently they stayed together. They shouldn't have. Yeah, I agree with what she said. Everyone, that story is a piece of shit. People, please.
The asshole for not wanting my fiance to kiss his mom during our wedding ceremony. Sorry for the formatting. I'm on mobile and typing this while hiding in a crawl space. So my fiance, 37 male, and I, 19 female, are getting married in 2 hours, and he just said that in our wedding
19?
ceremony, there's a family tradition he has to do where he has to open mouth kiss his mom for 30 minutes in front of everybody until the sun sets. He has a weird sense of humor, so I thought he was joking
I take back everything I just said. This is the craziest story.
at first. But then my future mother-in-law showed up in the exact same wedding dress as me and started talking about how excited she was for her big day and that she couldn't wait to give a big wet kiss to her big baby boy. Here's where I might be the asshole. I pulled my future mother-in-law to the side and I told her that I found the tradition kind of weird, to which she burst into tears and said that I was ruining her big day. Everyone's upset at me now, and even my parents said that I was in the wrong and that when you marry someone, you marry into their traditions. Am I the asshole? Update. Thank you for the gold, kind stranger. My fiance is now getting married to his mom.
Am I the...
What the fuck? And the streamer was too stunned to speak. I thought, like, it was just, like, a small kiss or something, but, like, I'm definitely doing this with alcohol next time, bruh. I said at start of stream, I feel like I should be doing this with alcohol. This is the tipping point. Oh my god. I feel like I don't need to explain. No, you are not the asshole. That is very valid.
The asshole for pretending to get fired when customers get a temper with me. Weird. I'm confused. Intrigued. I'm a high schooler with a weekend job at a coffee shop. My co-workers who work weekends are James, the owner's son, and Danielle, a college student who sometimes works weekends too. So sometimes customers will come in and just be angry about such little stuff, like literally blow up about nothing. I don't know if they're in a bad mood already and looking for something to someone to take it out on or what, but it's a lot. How sad do you have to be a grown-ass man taking your anger out on high school and college kids? So James and I were joking about having a little fun.
And that's why I'm always chill to people. Unless it's a KFC worker, they deserve it here. Chat, the KFC workers here are awful. But no, that's why you always be chill to retail and food people, no matter what. Like, the amount of times I've, like, they might have brought me the wrong food, and I'd be like, I didn't order this, and I'll be like, oh, I'm so sorry, like, I'm so sorry. I'm like, honey, I'm not mad, I'm just okay, it's okay. The last time I did that, we were out for a birthday dinner with my friends, and I asked for like, no, like, guacamole or something in my nachos, and my friend asked for no tomato and lettuce, or something like that, and they gave us that, and I'm like, I'll eat. Oh no, it was sweet chili sauce. That was it. I was like, it's fine. I can eat it. Except it was drizzled all over. It wasn't like in a pile. And I was like, you know what? It's fine. I'll eat it. It's fine. It's not like I'm allergic or anything. And my friend also got the thing she didn't order. And when the waitress came back, it was a little spicy as well, so that's why I didn't finish it. I don't really like spicy food. But when the waitress came back, I said, "Hey, look, I'm gonna eat it because it's fine. I won't make you remake it. But I wouldn't know sweet chili." She's like, "Oh, you didn't either. I'm so sorry." It's like, it's fine. It wasn't your fault. You're just the messenger. I get it. But like maybe just like let the chefs know to keep an eye out or something. And then I told her about my friend's burger, and she was like, "Oh no." And it also said at the front, like, "Oh, we have new staff. Please be patient." And I was like, "Of course I will. I get it." So I'm just like, "Oh no." But like, I told my mum the story. She's like, "No, I would have sent it back." Okay.
Fun with them and hopefully getting them off our backs. So one day I was at work and some guy was having a temper about how we don't make the coffee hot enough, which I couldn't do a thing about because I gave it to him right out of the machine, which is strange. How are you making the coffee? What do you mean right out of the machine? Anyway, like, don't you have to heat the milk?
Yeah, but there's only so much like hot you can do until it's burnt.
Yeah.
Or if it's an espresso, if it's right out of the machine, you can't make it any hotter.
This is true. So James came in and was like, "Sir, is there a problem here?" And the guy started ranting at him too. So he was just like, "OP," so the dude. So he was just like to me, "This is unacceptable. You're fired." I started acting real sad, like, "No, please don't fire me. My family needs the money. I need this job, please." And he played up being a hard ass, telling me to take off my apron and leave. The angry guy started his backtrack like, "It isn't that much of a problem. You don't need to fire her over it. I didn't mean it." And James was like, "No, we pride ourselves on the best customer service." Of course, after all that drama, I still had my job. We were just acting. And we've done it a couple of times. Whenever a customer will lose their temper at Danielle or I, James will storm in and fire us. And almost every time, the person who would come in angry will apologize and say that they didn't mean it. It's kind of satisfying, making people realize their actions might actually have consequences. Anyway, I was telling my friends from school about this, and a few of them thought it was a mean prank to let someone go away thinking they'd gotten someone who desperately needs the money fired. Am I the asshole for this joke?
Nah, man.
Not.
My sister and I have always...
Nah, they deserve that. That is... I wish I thought of that when I was in retail. That was the best. Oh, my old boss totally would have played along with that too. Little dickhead. But anyways, yeah, he totally... Oh, that... Yes. Not the asshole. I'd do the same thing.
I've been mistaken as twins. I'm 19 and she's 16, but we have the same height, skin tone, and similar voice. She also has a habit of being a copycat, from the way I dress to hobbies, even piercings. I know it's cute if you look at it from the outside, but sometimes it gets annoying. Like, yeah, we are quite close too, but why does she always happen to pick up everything I pick up? One afternoon, I was tidying up some costumes in my college showroom and found a rather cute brown and pink wig. It looks like a mushroom. I put it on, think it looks rather funny, so I snapped a picture and posted it to my Instagram. I received a text from my sister asking if I really cut my hair. I didn't mention it was a wig. While I somewhat have a feeling that she might copy that too, I lied and replied yes. I came home that weekend and lo and behold, my sister emerged with the same silly brown and pink bob cut, except this one is on her permanent hair.
Oh, no.
She was surprised that I arrived with my hair still long, then realized that I lied to her. She was furious that she had to cut that silly hairstyle because she thought I had it. Our parents think that it's a really bad joke and wanted me to cut my hair too to make it up to her. So am I the asshole for telling my sister I cut my hair when I really didn't?
I probably wouldn't have taken it that far, but I'm still gonna say no. I saw a story. It was one of those My Story animated, because I get a lot of those in my feed as well. How'd it go? It was a similar story. Like, she copied everything that her sister did, and how she got revenge was she pretended to set up like this fake, like, oh, she didn't pretend, she did it. It was just a private TikTok account, and she pretended to do like this channel that's funny. Yeah. But yeah, so she pretended to set up this channel, and she didn't post anything to it though, and it was all private. And she set up like the phones that was like on the desk and everything, so that way when she said like, "Oh, I'm going for a shower," like the sister's gonna creep in, see the videos, and then obviously replicate it because she copies everything that she does. But she made hers a public account. I don't know how true this story actually is, by the way, but probably fake. But what the TikTok account was the world's most disgusting TikTok account. I can't remember everything she did, but it was pretty nasty. And the sister did like all the bot stuff to make her account go viral, and the sister got so much shit for it. Like, why would you do that? Like, it happened at school and everything. And I'm just like, so that is pretty tame compared to that story. But yeah, that one was pretty funny, actually. I like that one. We go for an hour and a half. I think that'll do. But yeah, served you right for copying. That was funny. Actually, I did, well, not something similar, but I remember when I got my first, like, really short brown wig, I took a photo with it on, and I was like, oh, I look kind of good with short hair. This was back when my hair was, like, down to here. And so I took a photo of it. It was basically kind of like the really short brown wig that I have. I took a photo of that, and I posted it on my social media, and I was like, oh, I look kind of good with it. And my dad thought, I forgot to mention it was a wig, and so my dad thought it was permanent. So when when he came to pick me up that afternoon, he saw my hair and he's like, what? And he's like, I thought you cut your hair. Was it a filter or something? I went, no, Dad, it was a wig. I was trying it on. He's like, okay. And I was like, you don't want me cutting it short? He's like, no, it's fine. I just wasn't expecting it. Oh, and now it's short as hell, and it's going to be shorter when I, get it cut, because I'm going to go even shorter. Oh, but yeah, let's just get Oh, but yeah, good times. Yeah, if I ever want to do a more chill stream, I'll definitely do that again. Someone suggested actually doing, reacting to, the 5-minute crafts, and the fact I didn't think of that, like the really bad 5-minute crafts, where you got like their like little their solid pens, and what's the other one they like using? I think it's hot glue as well. It's just the dumbest shit. Okay. But yeah, I can't get over that wedding one, like the oh, that's gonna keep me up at night. Oh, God. Anyways, if y'all haven't already, you should definitely hit that sub button. I'm gonna shoot you over to Crybaby, who is playing Minecraft. Why isn't the command working? There we go. But yeah, if y'all haven't hit the sub or follow, you should definitely do that, especially because I will be having the wedding one was full on. Oh, God. We don't talk about that. If you ever see me just pause and shudder on stream, you'll know what I'm thinking of. But yeah, I am, for those who missed it, I am launching a new Haruban. Hopefully soon when all the updates come in, hopefully I can get it to the full extent I would like it. I'm not very good with coding, so huge shout out to Mel for tolerating all of my shit while they help me. Slowly but surely, we're getting there. It's gonna be a pretty cool server. Y'all definitely want to join this one. Hopefully sub-server? Maybe? But you should still sub anyway. And did it work? Raid has been created. Let's go! Okay, thank you all so much, guys. I love you all. And I'll see yous, and when that ticks over, I will see yous all in the next one. I just realized I'm not up on stream. Because I gotta make sure it goes through. Oh, I'm not subbed. That's embarrassing. Okay, but yeah, thank you so much, guys. I love you all, and bye! I wasn't ready for that. Okay, bye!